Hello PAFA faculty, and welcome to this Canvas teaching tutorial. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to access Canvas today. Next, I'm going to show you how to upload files and add them to pages in Canvas. After that, we're going to briefly cover making discussion boards on Canvas. Then we'll talk about Canvas messaging. And lastly, we'll touch on Canvas conferences. Conferences is how you would hold a synchronous class in the case that you won't be able to meet in person for a couple of weeks. So the first thing we're going to do is teach you how to get to Canvas. So the easiest way to get to Canvas is to go to Google and type in PAFA Canvas. The first thing that's going to come up in Google is going to be the current student login page, is what it's going to be called. So you're going to click on that. Then you're going to scroll down the page to where you see login to Canvas LMS. Now it specifically says students here, but it's the same login portal for everyone. And as you can see on this page, you also get my phone number as well if you need to call for specific help. So once you click on that, it's going to take you to this. Your username is going to be the same as what you use to log into everything here. So as faculty, your username is not going to have the pafa.edu or pobox.edu. It's not going to have any of that. It's just going to be generally speaking, your last name and your first initial or whatever you have it changed to if you've changed it. Your password is also going to be the same password that you use for everything here. So once you log in, it's going to take you to this page. This is your dashboard. My dashboard has a lot on it because I'm enrolled in a lot of courses here as a instructional technologist, but you're only going to see a couple of courses. You might see, if you've used Canvas in the past, or if you maybe used it a long time ago, you might see those old courses because those courses are always available to instructors so they can edit and copy things from them or whatever. But you should mostly see your 2020 spring courses, and you'll be able to tell here where my mouse cursor is. We've got our 2020 spring, and it'll say spring general. So look for that if you want to make sure that you're in the correct semester and all of that. So what you're going to do, the first step to editing Canvas, now we're moving on to how to upload files and edit files, is to go ahead and find your course. And this is your dashboard. You can tell you're there. It's highlighted there. So you're going to find your course. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see that you've got a course overview area, and then you've got weeks, and each week has a overview and a project in it, okay? So you're going to scroll down through and see that you've got all these different weeks here. So the first step is probably just to upload your syllabus. That's usually the best place to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the syllabus page here, and we can see it highlights when I put my mouse over it. And this page is blank. There's nothing here right now. So I'm going to add a file or any text. I'm going to find the button that says edit here. It's got a little pencil, says edit. So I'm going to click on that. And then as you can see, we get our little dialog box that pops up here. I can type in anything here. I can also copy and paste things in here. So if I wanted to, write things out in like a Word document or whatever, I can always just copy and paste them in here and make it very simple. So if I wanted to add a syllabus file, say I've already got a Word document or a PDF, the easiest way to just quickly do that is to come up here and look at files. We see files up here in the top right. So if you're uploading a file, you're looking for none other than files. So we click on that. As you can see, there's a couple of things here. These are mostly just things that I uploaded as a help tool here right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna upload a new file. So we're gonna click that button. It says upload a new file. It's got a little plus button. Then we're gonna go down to choose file. Click on that. Took a little bit to come up there. And then I'm going to find it. So say on my desktop, I had a nice little video or a nice little PowerPoint or whatever here. I would just go ahead and click on that and I would hit open. I'm not going to do that because these are large files and I don't want to wait for them to upload. But once you do upload it, it's going to appear here, right, with all your other files. Or in most cases, there won't be any files there. And so then what you're going to do is it's going to be placed in here. Or if you've clicked in here already, it will just go right where your cursor is. And here I will upload something so that I can show you what that looks like. So say we're uploading a new one. I'm going to just go ahead and upload this PowerPoint. So PowerPoints are it's going to be the same way that you upload a PowerPoint if you upload a Word document or anything else. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to hit open. And then you see it shows up here, right there, the Francis and McGuire thing that I just uploaded there. And it's going to go into my course files, which is fine. That's the only option I have anyway. And that's the only option anybody will have on the way our network is built. So then I'm going to hit upload. So when I upload it, when I click when I click upload, it drops it in right where my cursor was. So say that that's not really where I wanted it. Maybe I didn't want this file to pop up here. I can just go ahead and highlight it or just backspace and delete it. And then say maybe I wanted it right after I said, hey students here, right? So I'm going to find that same PowerPoint that I just uploaded from my list here of course files, and I'm going to go ahead and click that and see it added it right where my cursor was there. So now what's going to happen if I save this, I don't want to save and publish yet, and we'll talk about that in a minute, what that means. So I'm going to hit save, and now see it's right here. So now students can click on this link, and I'll show you what that's going to do. It's going to open it up either in a doc viewer, or it's going to let them download it depending on what it is. If it's a Word document, it will usually just let them download it immediately. Or if you, rather than clicking the file, you select this little preview button, this little magnifying glass, it will eventually just load it as a preview. Because this is a PowerPoint, it's taking a little bit longer. And I can show you what an actual Word document will look like here as well. So say I forgot to add a file to this page, this is a good refresher on this. I would go ahead and hit edit on that page, brings up my dialog box. I'd put my cursor where I want that file to be inserted into the page. I'd go and hit file. I could either upload a new file or I can pick one from my list. So I already have this old syllabus here. So I'll add that. I'll hit save here. There, see, now we've got 2 files. So because this is a syllabus, it should just quickly load as a preview here. If you've got a PowerPoint, the previews just take a little bit longer to load usually. So as you can see, we've got this nice preview page, opens up right here. Real easy. And so that's how you'd edit and add files. So you wanted to add a Word document that you wrote out explaining an assignment to students. That's how you do it. You just go up to edit, add your file, save the page, and you're good to go. So once you've added some things to your pages, you could add a supplies list, you could add essential information. Supplies list probably not super important, especially if we're starting in the middle of the semester. So say the syllabus page is ready to go, you want students to be able to see it. Right now, it's got this gray circle with a line through it here. So to publish it, we want to make sure that it has the green checkmark circle. So this box, this course overview box is published, which it needs to be. So it's good that it's published. If this were unpublished, students wouldn't be able to see anything that's in here. So say our syllabus is done, but our essential info, all of that stuff, it's not done yet. We're just going to go ahead and publish only our syllabus here. So we click on that little icon there, and it switches to the green circle with the white check mark, and we're good to go. So now I'll quickly just touch on assignments. Assignments are very similar to pages, which these are pages. You can tell they're just white, the little icon next to them is just a page with some writing on it, right? Those are pages. This is an assignment. Now, all of these templates that I've given to all faculty, they have these assignments in every week. Obviously, you don't have to use the assignment in every week. If you're not using it, just keep it unpublished. Students won't be able to interact with it. That's fine. But if you do need assignments to be active, you'll just go ahead, click on it. And once again, we see we get, the page looks a little bit different here, but we get our same sort of dialog box and everything here. So we can hit edit there. And as you can see, we get our same box, so we can type anything in. There's a couple fields here that are already filled in. You can feel free to write your own work, or you can just fill in these fields if you need to. There's points, assignment groups, display grade as, submission types. All of these submission types are checked, which is what you want. We want students to be able to upload what they need to upload. So in this case, we'll just have everything checked here. Don't worry about assignment groups or display grades or any of that stuff. Group assignments, probably not really necessary. Peer review is not really necessary. You could set a due date if you wanted to. The upside of setting a due date down here, as opposed to just like writing it in only, is that students will actually get a notification of that. So it'll pop up in their Canvas screen and say, okay, this assignment for this class is due tomorrow. So that's can be helpful to students. So now what we're going to do is, you can add files to this the same way, whatever. You're basically, these assignments function as, like, say, a Dropbox, right, for students to submit things to. Okay, so that's really the main difference between an assignment and a page. You can also assign points to this. If you're doing your grading elsewhere already, like if you've already graded a bunch of assignments, there's probably not really much of a need to add points to it, but you can if you want to add points. So we're going to go ahead and hit save on this. And then I'm going to take you to a slightly different place so that we can actually see. So now we're in one of my old courses, and I'm going to show you what assignments are going to look like, how you'll actually grade what students send in to you. So I'm going to go down to one of these assignments. We've got this assignment right here. Now I'm going to see that there's submissions here. So I see 1 out of 3 submissions. I can download all the submissions. I can re-upload submissions, not super important. Or the easiest way to do this is by clicking on Speed Grader in the assignment. So once we're in Speed Grader, you'll be able to see that you've got your students up here in the top right. You've got the thing that they submitted here on the left. And you can select all their different submissions. So say that they resubmit for whatever reason, you can select different submissions here. You can give people a grade, and then you can leave a submission, or you can leave a comment, and there'll be a little comment box down here. So the comment is good to give some feedback to students. The positive thing about leaving a comment is that only they can see it, other students can't see it, so it's confidential to them, as well as their grades and all of that. And so say I take a look at what this student has uploaded here, and then I go ahead and go through the student list here. So I can either click on the arrows, and it'll take me through to different students. As you can see, I'm scrolling through all the different students that are here. Or if I have a long list and I just want to find a specific student, I can click on this little drop-down arrow, scroll down, and there we go. And click on anybody here at all. So that's how you would grade assignments that students would send in to you. All right, so now we're back to the same course that we were working on before. And as you can see, like I've mentioned a couple of times, and every week we've got our project, we've got our week overview, and that's all that's in the template by default, right? But if you want to add discussion boards, So if you want students to be able to post things and communicate, maybe you assign them a reading and you want them to give feedback on the reading. You want them to do the classic, make a post and respond to other students' posts sort of assignment. The way that you would do that, so you're looking to add a discussion board to a week, okay? So say that, it's week 7, week 8, maybe. You want to add a discussion board. So just go ahead and we want to make sure that things are unpublished so students can't see them beforehand. Only publish things when they're ready, basically. So say we want to add a discussion board. So we're going to add it to week 7 here. So we go to the little plus sign here. Now we're looking at what we're going to add. So there you see add here, and then assignment is selected. So we don't want an assignment, we want a discussion. So we're going to click on this little arrow, we're going to select discussion. Now there's no discussion topics in here, so we're going to hit a new topic. Now we can give the topic a name, so we can just say, reading reaction or something like that. And we're going to go ahead and add that item. And as you can see, popped up right here, and it's unpublished. So when you add a new item like that, you need to make sure that you publish it once you're done editing it, because it is not published automatically. So we'll go ahead and click in on this. As you can see, once again, very similar to the pages or the assignments, we just get this little edit box up here. We'll go ahead and add a description of what maybe we want the students to respond to. And then we'll go down here and save. You can have allow threaded replies. That might be good to check box there. Basically, that just means that students can reply to each other, which is usually a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that allow threaded replies is there. We're going to hit save. And then students would be able to read what you have posted up here, and then they would just hit reply here. And then when they hit reply, gives them this nice little dialog box here that they can write what they need to. And then they can also attach things to it if they need to. If they need to attach a picture or something like that, they can attach those things to it. And they would just hit post reply. This is also how you would reply to students if, students had a question or something, or, you read something that you really liked from a student and you wanted to say, oh, that was a great job, or give them any sort of feedback at all. You can just go ahead and reply to their post. Each post has a reply box like this underneath it. So now we're going to quickly look at Canvas messaging. Canvas messaging is a good option instead of email or over email. If you really want to keep things segmented, Canvas has a great system for categorizing messages based on courses or whatever. So you don't have 25 emails from different students from different courses all in your inbox. That can get a little bit confusing. So you might want to just have all students sort of do their communication to you through Canvas. So the way that that's going to work is you access Canvas messaging. Down here on the left, you find the little inbox. Go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, we get all of our messages here. So, if you have multiple, messages sent and received from a single student, you'll get, a number up here saying that person sent you 20 messages, or there's 20 messages in this thread of messages, right? So you can trim that down so you only see messages by courses. So your favorite courses are going to be the ones that show up on your dashboard. Favorite course just means that, it's one that is probably for this semester. All of your current courses should already automatically be your favorite courses. So you just would find the course that you want to see in this list. Then once you do that, you just get the messages from that course, which is pretty helpful if you're trying to keep things organized. Or you can see all courses as well, if that's your thing. So you, just like regular email, you can just see your inbox, you can see your sent, you can see all just your unread, your starred if you needed to save something for some reason. That's how you would go through that. So to send a message to students, you're going to click on this little pencil icon up here, compose a new message. That's going to bring up this box. And you're going to first find the course that you need. So once again, your favorite courses. So I'm going to send it to the CE course. Then I'm going to go over to this little contacts image here, little notebook with a person on it. I'm going to click that. And then it's going to give me the option to send it to all in that course, which if you're trying to just message all your students, that might be the easiest way to do it. You're not going to have a bunch of other people in there. So you can probably just send it to everybody, and that will work out just fine. If you want to send it to just students, you can do that. Click on students here, and then click on all students, or you can send it to a specific student in that class. You can also send it to teachers, but you're probably the only teacher in your course. So that's how you would select who you're sending it to. So I'm just going to send it to the whole class. Then I'm going to do a nice clear subject, so that students know what's going on. Then I'm going to type my message. And I can also send it attachments. Say some students are having trouble accessing Canvas, because they don't have a computer at home, who knows, whatever the issue is. You can always attach a file to a message and send it out to them. Maybe they'll be easier to access that on their phone or something like that. All students do have access to the Canvas app. It's a free download. So I would suggest that if students are saying they're having issues, suggest to them to get the Canvas app on their phones. So you would just write your message and you would hit send. And there you go. You can send it to the whole class, a single student, anything really. And it keeps it nice and segmented over here for you. So the last thing that I wanted to touch on in this video is Canvas conferences. So Canvas conferences is the way that you would hold synchronous courses in the event that you feel like you need to, have all your students gathered together, to actually have sort of a classroom time. So Canvas conferences is a relatively simple system. If you've ever used anything like WebEx or GoToMeeting or Zoom, it's going to kind of have a similar feel to it. So to set up a new conference, we're going to go ahead and click on conferences. And as you can see, we've got all these concluded conferences down here, new conferences. There are none right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a new one. So I'm going to give it a name that's specific, maybe just the date. Probably good enough just to make sure that students are aware of what's going on there. You might want to increase the duration depending on what you're doing, how much material you have to cover. You can enable recording for this conference, so you can technically record your lecture here, and then you can give it a quick description if you want to. The most important thing here is making sure that the invite all course members is checked. So you want to make sure that that check mark is there. It is there by default, so you should see that there. So once I've written everything I want to for description, I'm going to go ahead and hit update. And then now you see that this pops up as a new conference. So what I would do to actually start this conference is I would come over here to the start button. That's going to open up a new page for me in my browser. And I'm going to do microphone. You can also join using a phone if you don't have a microphone. Join using a phone can be a little bit spotty. The audio quality is a lot worse. So I would suggest getting some sort of USB microphone if you don't already have one. Depending on what device you're using, if you're using like an iPad or something, you should be able to plug in a set of like Apple earbuds that have the built-in microphone, and that should work for you. You can use your webcam microphone if you're on a laptop. Pretty much every single laptop has a webcam and a microphone built in. The only problem with that is you're going to get a lot of feedback and weird noises, and it's going to be crazy echoey. Students might have a hard time hearing you, so I really would suggest that you get some sort of USB microphone. You can get a Logitech USB microphone on Amazon for $20 or less. So we're going to go ahead and hit microphone. Obviously, as the instructor, you don't want to listen only. You want to be able to have your microphone. You're probably going to get some kind of allow access option here from your browser. So you're going to want to hit allow. It's going to do an echo test and all of that. If you allowed recording, you can go ahead and hit this button to start recording. The entry screen here gives you a couple of ideas of things that you can do with this app. So you can do chat, webcam, audio, emojis, thank God for emojis, breakout rooms, polling, screen sharing, multi-user whiteboard, and screen sharing here is probably the most important thing. Also, this public chat here will be useful. Students can type in there if they're having issues. Maybe they can't hear you, something like that. They can type in there. This is how you would share your screen here. It's the one on the far right. When you hover over it, it says share your screen. So this is what you would do to like show a PowerPoint or something like that. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit share our screen. As you can see, we get we can share our entire screen. We can share just a Google Chrome tab, just an application window. The problem with entire screen is that it takes longer to load. So you might have to wait a few minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and hit share entire screen. And it loaded pretty quickly this time. So as you can see, this is what's sharing right now, and it's going to tell me that it's sharing, okay? So when I minimize this page, say I wanted to open up a video or something like that, or maybe I want to open up a PowerPoint, it's still going to tell me that it's sharing here, so I know that everything should be going okay. So there we go. So there I can show my PowerPoint to my students. Even if my subscription is expired, I can show my PowerPoint to my students. So that's sort of a quick rundown of Canvas conferencing through Big Blue Button. It's not too difficult once you sort of get in there. It's pretty intuitive. You can see more actions down here. You can start a poll. You can actually upload a presentation so that students can have access to it if you want to. Sometimes sharing your screen, if you're trying to share a video, sometimes it's not going to work very well. So using the tool to share an external video might be a little bit better. It might load better and be more clear for students there. So if you had like a YouTube, you just copy and paste the link in there. So that's a rundown of Big Blue Button. So I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting by going up to these three buttons and hitting end meeting. It's going to give me feedback rating. I'm going to go ahead and just click through that. And then it takes me back to my sort of home page here of my course. So when I go back to conferences, it still says that the meeting is in progress. So it might be a good idea to just go back to conferences and hit end. Just to make sure that it ends. And then it's going to join these down here. And you can delete these, if you don't want to have too many of them clogging up down there. So that's sort of a rundown of everything that you might need to use in the event of a short closure, or if you want to just teach online in future semesters, this is a good place to start. So thank you for your time and watching this video. And you can always contact me at swagner@pafa.edu, or you can find my phone number anywhere on the website. But my phone number to my office is 215-391-4126. So please contact me if you have any questions or you have any issues. In the event of a shutdown, I will be working from home or whatever. I will be available. So feel free to reach out to me through email and we'll get your issues figured out. Thank you for watching this video and have a great rest of your day.